And once again, we came into Thursday. I had in my mind already Thursday reversal profile. We came up, swept buy side of the previous day, formed an SMT market structure shift, and then I just let it run. Man, amazing trade. This was probably the best trade idea I've ever had. Look at these sniper entries though. Like, all right, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If this is the first time that you're tuning in, first and foremost, I want to thank you for giving me your time. I'm not a guru, I'm not a teacher, I'm just simply documenting my trading journey. I've been documenting it from the beginning. I started in January this year all the way up to now, which is the 24th of August, and we're almost a whole year in, and it's crazy. And I know you could already see it over there, but let me just say a couple things before I even bring it up. First and foremost, I want to thank Techtronix.com for making this series possible. They are the sponsor of this series, and if you're looking for the best PC with the best quality parts that are in the market, make sure you go and check out the link down in the description for Techtronix.com. They have a 1-year warranty and quoting is available. If you're looking for a broker, make sure you check out my link down in the description. For FX trades, I use Hero FX. So if you're looking for a new broker, go ahead and check that out. And one thing that I did want to bring up right now, which is this right here. This is my new free trading Discord. So if you want to join a trading Discord and have any questions about trading, or you just want to support me in general, make sure you check out the trading Discord. Yesterday, Friday the 23rd, I ended up pulling this crazy trade off, as you can see here, and I even explained and gave my thought process as to why I entered the trade. And I was asking a couple of the members a couple questions as well. They were sending some of their trades, and I'll talk about it even more. But like I said, I'll do live trading probably this whole upcoming week. So if you're watching this, I say Monday, I've already traded live on this day, or I am trading live in the Discord. So if you're watching this video, go click the link down in the description and join the Discord. I have a bunch of stuff in here, and I'll continue to add stuff as the Discord continues to grow, but I'm gonna take this very seriously. Link is down in the description. Go join that. Yeah, let's get back into the video. I know you could already see it back there. I'm gonna go ahead and grab it and bring it up closer to the camera so that you guys can see it. You've already seen the actual certificate itself in the last video, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So let me bring this up real quick. All right, so since this is the first time that I'm actually putting it on a video, I wanted to show you guys, like I said, I am now officially a funded trader. You could barely see it because of the light that's right in front of me for the video, but funded trader. And I wanted to say that it's possible, man. You could do anything you put your mind to. For a lot of people who've been asking questions, I got funded trading off my phone while I was at work. So for those that say you can't do it, it's definitely possible. You just have to put in the work and be determined enough to finish what you started. I don't know where I'm gonna put it yet. I had an idea to put it right here so that I could see it whenever I'm trading every morning, but I also got an idea from someone to put it right there so that you could see it in the background of the video. Trust me, this isn't gonna be the only plaque that I end up getting. Probably after I get my first payout, I'm gonna use that payout to buy another funded account and go for that as well, so I could be funded. Probably gonna go for another 50,000, so I'll be funded 100K, and I'll be able to have one right here. Probably have this one since it was the first one right there, so that I could see it as soon as I get up in the morning and I'm ready to trade at my desk. And then the other one back there, so it could be seen in the back of my video, in the background of my videos. But yeah, that's what I wanted to show you guys. I finally got it framed and everything, so I'm extremely happy, man. I can't even tell you guys how my parents felt when they saw this. They were extremely proud, I guess you could say. And I have extremely Dominican parents, so they have to see some type of proof, some type of paper proof that you're doing something. So they saw this and they were completely fine with everything that I said last week. If you didn't watch the video last week, make sure you go and check that out, because it was the video where I explained everything, basically everything that got me funded. And I also talked about how I quit my job. I am now a full-time content creator, trader, and like I said, I do a couple more things outside of trading and YouTube that I don't talk about, like content creation for other people. I make videos. I'm a video editor and filmmaker. Yeah, let me just put this back where it was, and then we continue with this week's video, because I had an amazing week. Like I said, we should just hop right into the charts because I don't want to yap too much. As you know, last video I had one $200 trade and I need 5 for the payout, so make sure you stay tuned to the end of the video to see what the account is at right now and how many winning trades I ended up having that were over $200, so that I could qualify for that first payout. I had an amazing week. That's really all I can say. I had an amazing week. Let's hop straight into the charts. Once again, make sure you go and check out the Discord, free Discord. I'm going to be doing a lot of crazy things in here apart from just live trading, debating on when I should start actually teaching people how to trade and stuff like that, but I want to make it grow a little bit more. Right now we have 9 members or 10 members if I'm not mistaken, something like that. So make sure you go and check it out, and please make sure that you're serious. I'm going to have people kicked out of the chat if they're not serious about trading or learning to trade, or like spamming or anything like that. So make sure you go and check it out. Let's head into this week. This is what this week looked like. Price action hasn't been the best. I mean, we've had days like last Thursday, which was amazing, and this Thursday, which was also very good, but I'll Apart from that, it was mostly consolidation Tuesday and Wednesday, even yesterday, Friday, but Monday was all right. I believe we had news on Monday and then no news on Tuesday. It was an all right week, and I can't wait till price action gets even better like it was a couple weeks ago. Like it was like this is crazy price action. This isn't bad. This isn't horrible. It could just be a bit better. So I haven't even checked the economic calendar for the next week, but hopefully the next week is better. Coming to the end of the monthly candle, so we'll have to see how that ends up looking. But as you can see here, man, pretty crazy monthly candles. This is what the weekly look like. I still believe that the draw is eventually this high, but as you can see, it is kind of dissolving. I don't know if there's an SMT, if there is an SMT with the S on the weekly. As of right now, extreme SMT with ES, but we'll have to see how next week plays out, see if we're gonna come back down here. I still believe the draw is eventually that high, but I don't want to call prices or anything like that right now. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to talk about what happened this week. This is what it looked like on the daily chart. This was a Monday, we went up, reversed Thursday, and then came up a bit Friday. But let's get straight into the my actual chart. Put my drawings in there. So this is what I had. As you can see, pretty hectic. You could probably barely see it, but I don't want to erase anything because I want to make sure we actually get exactly what happened this week. This is what it looked like on the 1 hour. It looks a little bit better, but let's just hop straight into the days of the week so that it's not very confusing. So Monday we had FOMC members speaking, and when the market opened, ES and NQ were going in opposite directions, which just meant chop. And as you can see here, we had a bearish SMT and price that ended up moving lower. But as soon as we got into market open, I think ES was going up and NQ was going down. And when it chops like that, just make sure that you're very cautious and getting into a trade. At least wait for some type of sweep of liquidity. And what I was waiting for, honestly, was for this sweep to end up happening, and it never ended up happening at 10:30. And I don't know if it was an SMT, so let me just check if it was an SMT. It kind of was an SMT. Yeah, it was. As you can see, straight up and down. Yeah, so it was an SMT. I guess I just didn't pay too much attention to it. I could have entered down here. I just waited a bit longer until we got into this buy side imbalance and took the trade off of that. It was a 3.25 R trade, and I targeted the equal highs. I targeted this high from last Wednesday or 2 Wednesdays ago, which was my draw on liquidity, and as you can see, we ended up smashing that. I was honestly waiting for this to sweep. I should have took it because it was an SMT. That's the trade that I ended up taking on Monday. I had a very good week this week. I can't complain at all, but as you can see, it was just straight up chop early in the morning, and I guess you could have had this last manipulation leg as your target. On Monday itself, it came up all the way into I hit the 3. Yeah, I hit the 3, but nobody was expecting that. And some of the days this week were a bit later, like the moves happened a bit later, so it's something to look into for the next week. But let's go on to the next day. Honestly, on Tuesday, I came in, I think it was a no news Tuesday as well, and I came in and took this long. Obviously didn't go up to my target, but I did take profits before the move down and secured my profits. We came down, and I don't know if it was an SMT, but we had swept the lows of Asia. We ended up sweeping these lows, and I was still bullish off of price. I thought we were gonna end up reaching for this high up here, but it was a no news Tuesday, so it kind of makes sense that it just ended up consolidating or moving sideways. But as you can see, we ended up having this very good reaction off this long. Don't remember what I entered from, but I do remember I think we were in a coming into Tuesday on this last 4-hour candle, we were inside a 4-hour sell side imbalance, and we had taken out sell side lows from Asia, so I made sure to just go long after that. It was pretty apparent that we were going to end up going long, but as you can see, the market kind of consolidated. Either way, still went up. That is the move that I caught on Tuesday. I played it off of the higher time frame order flow, so we came down, swept sell side, and filled in this imbalance, which is killing 2 birds with 1 stone. And then as you can see, I was expecting us to at least hit the London high, but I'm pretty sure there was an SMT at the London high, and then price just ended up dying if I'm not mistaken. So let me just double check right here. Yeah, there was an SMT on the Tuesday highs, as you can see here. So there was an SMT. As soon as I saw that SMT, I ended up closing this trade, and that is the trade that I ended up taking. It would have been a 5R, but I closed around here somewhere right before we ended up going down crazy. So just to secure my profits, I didn't want to end up losing my profits, and I don't think I even looked for another trade, even though there was a nice short right here that I could have taken. I don't know if it was off the 5-minute or something like that. I did end up taking the same short the next day because the opportunity came up, but as you can see, yeah, we ended up having a 5-minute imbalance. We came back back inside of this range. We came back above equilibrium and hit that 5-minute imbalance and then sold off and then bounced off of this order block and then went up. I was already out of the market by then. It was already 11 in the afternoon, but like I said, a lot of moves ended up happening later on in the day, but that's what happened on Tuesday. Let's move on to Wednesday. So Wednesday was pretty annoying. What happened on Wednesday was, and I want you guys to do this, and especially since you're in my Discord, if you're in my Discord, you know, I know that people either come to Discords to A, copy trade, 2, actually learn, or 3, be entertained. If you're there to copy trade, I want you to know that you'll probably end up catching some good trades. Honestly, if you're watching somebody who is a good trader, you'll end up catching some of their wins, but at the same time, you're not developing your own thinking skills and you're not going off of your own ideas, which is the most important part of trading, is forming your own ideas, going through the wins and the losses and learning from the losses and adding them to your next day. What I did this day was, one of the YouTubers who I was learning from was actually live streaming on Wednesday. So I was like, oh, let me watch this stream. And I ended up taking a trade that he didn't even take. He wanted to see, since we were inside of a range, we were inside of this previous day range, he wanted to see one of the sides taken to then go in the opposite direction. And I seen us sweep this low right here, which was the current low in New York. We swept that low and I got in the wick. As you can see here, I took 3 trades this day, or actually 4 trades this day, and I'll explain it. I was pretty much correct on all of them. So yeah, like I was saying, we ended up manipulating lower. Let me show y'all my thought process with this trade. So he didn't end up taking this trade. I took it, and then he said something that made me question myself. And if you've been trading for a while and you ever watch anybody else trade, those thoughts come into your head like, damn, this person's been trading longer than me, they probably know more than I do, blah blah blah, which is sometimes mostly nonsense. Everybody trades differently and sees different things. So if you have an idea, go for it. If you lose, so what? That was my fault this day, right? So I see this is when I come in, right? We end up coming down, we sweep this south side. So south side has been taken. This is the manipulation leg. So I took that manipulation leg and I projected it higher. Between the 2 and the negative 2.5 is usually where price tends to reverse from, and at that point exactly, we had these 2 equal highs, relatively equal highs, and that was the perfect target. That should have been my trade for the day. I would have been done after that, and even targeted a bit higher. As you can see, ended up hitting the negative 4 and the 4.5, or negative 3 and the 4 to the T. Persian revert. We were in a range, 4-hour range, came up, smacked that buy side liquidity, and then just went all the way down. But I closed early because this candle was forming and it started to come down, and I was like, he said something like, oh, we should maybe wait for the ranges to be taken out. But this is the type of trade that I take. Honestly, this is an A+ setup for me. So the fact that I closed this kind of got me upset, and then I tried to chase price after that, thinking we would go higher for this high ultimately, and then price came down. I took a long here, and then as you can see, just destroyed me. But Persian revert, it was still Wednesday, so I should have just waited for a price to either take out that high to go short, or just stayed with my initial entry, because it was a perfect entry. As you can see, it never came even close to stopping me out until later on. So I would have took profits above here and then wait to see what happened after that, where I could have took another bit of profit, but it came all the way down and I ended up losing. But then later on in the afternoon, I took this trade, which ended up making me back the money that I lost. Yeah, it was a 7, almost an 8R. That's kind of crazy. But I was targeting the lows right here at London. Since there was a bunch of equal lows here, I targeted those lows and a bit more, and what I paid it off of was the 5-minute. Honestly, I seen us come back into this imbalance. We kind of went above the equilibrium of that imbalance, and then I believe I took it on the 1-minute, if I'm not mistaken. We had came down, and I was waiting for this imbalance to get disrespected. Once that imbalance was disrespected, let me make it a bit more clear for y'all. I'm talking about this imbalance right here. Once that imbalance was disrespected, I took my trade off of that, and I targeted those lows like I said earlier, and that made me my money back. Another important low was this one, and I was watching that after this happened to see what was going to end up happening. I thought maybe it could take that low, but it respected it, went up higher, and then I just waited till it came down lower. I don't know if it went to equilibrium of the current dealing range, which I think is, so yeah, it barely got above equilibrium and then went right back down. So that's the second trade I ended up taking, or the third after I took a long here, which just doesn't make sense. And then I took this trade later on. I don't remember exactly what I took this trade off of, but I did take this trade because I thought that we would end up going at least for these highs. Ended up going up, and then I closed like around here somewhere because I noticed it was starting to come back down. So I made a bit more profit, which ended this day on a green day. But if I would have just took this trade and this trade, I would have been golden this day, and I was pretty upset about that. But what can you do? Honestly, trust yourself. If you're gonna be in my streams, I'm gonna have my streams where people can talk in the chat, but they can't talk while out in my Discord, so I will not be influenced by anybody. And like I said, you could come in, you could copy trade, you could do whatever you want, but I'm telling you, if you want to develop as a trader, make sure that you're forming your own ideas and you're playing off of that. You're learning from your losses and you're implementing new things into your wins that are a part of your plan. So like I said, moral of the story, don't watch anybody else while you're trading, don't listen to anybody else while you're trading, because one little dumb comment could influence your decision making. And that's what happened to me. Amazing winning trade, and I closed it because I let somebody else influence me, but it's part of the game, it happens. Let's just move on to Thursday, which was the biggest trade in the funded account honestly ever. This was the best trade that I've ever taken. This was a sniper trade. I had, for some reason, I came into the next day thinking that we were gonna have a reversal Thursday profile, and that is exactly what we ended up doing. As you can see, we kind of were consolidating coming into the New York session. We took out that high, and then I noticed we had an SMT right here on the 5 minute, and as soon as I noticed that SMT, I entered because we had just swept buy side liquidity, almost an 8R, and it was just running straight, ran to my profit targets, which were on the higher time frame, if I'm not mistaken. We had these daily imbalances. I wanted to see price come down into them. So you could see we came up, took out buy side from the previous day high, and then just dumped all the way down to these sell side levels. I had my target down here at the bottom of this imbalance, and it ended up playing out very well. What ended up happening was I chickened out. I didn't trust myself. As you can see, I closed out around here. It started to come back up, and I was like, dang, I don't want to lose my profit. And right after I closed, it just tumbled down. So trust yourself, because you know what you're doing. Like I said, we had taken buy side from the previous day. We had a SMT, market structure shift. It was a Thursday reversal, and we had a bunch of sell side levels that were just generated liquidity along with an imbalance. Perfect trade. This is probably the best trade that I've ever taken. It was just amazing. Literally just sold right there and just watched it just run. Amazing trade. And yeah, I mean, it happens. It really does happen. I still count it as a W. I know I got profit, I made profit, and I want to make it very clear. There's days where you're gonna do stuff like this where you have the right idea but wrong execution, and it's gonna happen. So just live with it. I was extremely angry after this happened because dang, I missed out. This was like a $1,600 trade, and I only got like $300-400 off of it. So you could tell I was very upset for the rest of the day, and I couldn't stop thinking about it. But you also have to think about the person who ended up taking a long here, a person who lost a lot of money here. I made money, so I gotta be grateful for that. Obviously, I could have made a lot more, and I definitely journaled down what I could have done. I just have to trust myself. At the end of the day, I know what I'm doing, man. Trusting myself helped me out the next day because I was close to closing out my winning trade the next day. But best trade, like I said, once again, we came into Thursday. I had in my mind already Thursday reversal profile. We came up, swept buy side of the previous day, formed an SMT, market structure shift, and then I just let it run. Man, amazing trade. This was probably the best trade idea I've ever had. Look at these sniper entries though. Like, as soon as I got out, it came back up and then it kept going down. I could have took another trade there, but I was done for the day after this trade. Why would I even get back inside the market after that? Amazing price action. I can't wait for days like this, because when days like this come out, man, when it's like this on a regular basis, again, now that I'm on the funded account, man, just watch out. But let's move on to Friday. This is the trade that I took on Friday. We had Jerome Powell speaking on Friday, so I just wanted to see what was gonna happen. This is the trade that I took on the Discord, so make sure you join the Discord. Like I said, link is down in the description. As you can see here, we have this imbalance. This is where we came into the market open. I saw us manipulate lower, take out sell side right here. We had a bunch of sell side liquidity that was there, and I took this on the 1 minute. So as you can see here, we ended up taking out sell side. We had an SMT. We inverted this 1 minute fair value gap, market structure shift. I came back down, touched this. I just entered. Honestly, I entered off of the 1 minute imbalance being inverted, and I sat through this. I knew that this was the protected low, so I did get a bit afraid. I was about to close, but trust yourself, because you know what you're doing, and if you mess up, then so be it. You'll end up catching the next one. But I had my stop below that low. I was so close to being stopped out, as you can see here, which I should have just waited a bit to see what was gonna happen, and then took an entry off of there, which would have made it even bigger. But it was a 5R, and it ended up playing out. It was like a $400 trade, something like that. that, and I just took the buy side liquidity that was up here, and this trade was a couple minutes. As you can see, I entered this trade probably here at 9:35 or 9:35 and 9:36, and I got out of it fully by 10:01. So 15-minute trade, made $400 on this day. Amazing trade. And then there was another short later on in the day that was pretty good, but I didn't take it, which was right here. There was an SMT at these highs. I remember because somebody was talking about it in my trading Discord, but I already won my trade for the day. I was done. I wasn't even gonna look at that. So SMT there, and then we had the imbalance pullback right here. So this was the trade that was taken. As soon as this imbalance was entered, stop above that high. Well, that's where I would have had my stop, and then targeted the lows of Asia. And as you can see, it did hit it on later on in the day, but these lows of Asia right here could have been the target, and or even this right there, but could have been a crazy trade if you were targeting those lows with a 5-to-1 At the end of the day, you could have had your stop above any of this, or up here would have made it a tighter stop. But I didn't look at this. I wasn't even paying attention to this. I was not paying attention to this. I had an amazing week. I didn't have one day where I was in the red, honestly. Just because I'm in a win streak, I want to say this. I am not the best trader. I'm not going to sit here and overinflate my ego saying that I master the markets. I'm going to take it with a humble approach and still treat it the same way that I would treat any other week coming up. So obviously I'm going to show the account now to show you where I am exactly on the account, but just know that a week like this could be overturned like that. So just make sure you prioritize your risk management and trust yourself, honestly, because a lot of these trades I would have made so much profit, especially Thursday. I would have made so much profit this week. I did end up the week in a lot of profit, but I would have made a lot more, $1,000 more, if I would have just left this trade running on Thursday and didn't get scared and close it out. But at the end of the day, you live and you learn. I guarantee you that next time I have an idea like this, I'm gonna let that shit run. Yeah, this was the week that I ended up having. Let me show y'all the actual account now. All right, so this is the actual account. As you can see, I am one $200 win day away from actually hitting the milestone so I could get my first payout. This is basically how I've been trading, gradually going up. Thursday should have been way more. Should have been like up here by now, and I would have been like $1,000 more up above this if I let my trade run on Thursday. But that's a good week, honestly. This is my first trading week where I am not at work. This is a perfect week for me. I'm not gonna complain about it. I'm still only allowed to trade 2 contracts, and I want to read into it actually to see. Okay, so once I get above 1,500, I'll be able to trade 3 contracts. Okay, I need to be able to get above this 2,000 so I could trade those 5 lots, because once I get those 5 contracts, it's pretty much over. But this is my winning trade. I don't know why my average winning trade is $79, but you know, I'm a 78%, which is very good. Average losing trade I've been managing my losses very well, so I'm not upset. But this is what it looked like if they had a floating. I mean, I had a floating day. When was it? No, it didn't show anything else. But yeah, on this day should have been $1,000 trade, man. As you can see, I like my stats. I really do like my stats. I'm not paying too much attention to my stats, but on average I am winning a lot more now, and that is because I am, you know, developing as a trader. If you go look at my first videos before I got funded, I had crazy losses. And as you can see, my low was $200 and came back this week, did very well for myself. Average losing day was, my worst day was 143, which is where I want to keep it at. My best day, it says, is $400, but I know I could have had $1,000 trade this week, man. We'll see what happens next week. Hopefully next week I'll get my first payout, and then I don't know if I'll stop trading after I get the $200 win, just to secure those profits and get that payout. But knowing myself, I'll probably end up trading again. But this has been the video. This has been the week. I hope you had an amazing trading week. Let me know how your trading week went down below. And if you had a bad trading week, just live with it, learn from your mistakes, and keep going. Capital preservation should be something that's first on your list to improve, and then after that, you know, just learn from your mistakes. What were you doing wrong, and how can you fix it? Apart from that, thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Instagram. I don't know if I said that in the beginning of the video, but either way, make sure you check out techtronics.com. The link is down in the description. Hero Effects is down in the description. Make sure you join the free trading Discord where I'll be trading live every day, down there in the description as well. And that's basically it. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.